Hey guys, Armageddon here. Today we're going to talk about the G36 and take it apart real quick. That's the agenda for today. So we are clear. Drop the mag. Drop the bolt. And this is the E version, or just the full length version with 18.9 inch barrel. But the G36K, CQB, and C all take down the exact same way. So they make use of traditional push pins that HK is kind of known for. Then one is back here at the rear of the trigger mechanism. There's one at the front of the trigger mechanism / magazine well. And there's also one up here for the front of the optics rail and handguard. So optics rail doesn't attach to that, but the handguard does. And this one actually isn't a push pin, though it can be. I've just opted to add a sling loop instead, but it functions the exact same. It's just a little threaded pin instead. So that's a perfect little loop for your typical HK slings to connect to. So with that off, we can gently remove the handguard. Slides right off over the barrel, exposing the gas system, which is the exact same gas system that is still found today on the 416 and 417 family of rifles. So this MR223A3, which is essentially a 416A5, has the exact same gas system going on underneath there. The 308 version is the same, and the G38 or G28 DMR gun, which I'll actually have here soon in about four weeks or so, is again identical. So we'll pull that apart in a second. As a piston run gun, it is most of the dirt and grime happens up here. So the way this works is as the barrel or the bullet has been pushed down the barrel, once it gets past this gas block, the pressure that's built up behind the bullet starts to bleed into here in this gas block that fills up the space in front of the piston and pushes the piston back. So there's quite a bit of pressure here. What I'll do is I'll demonstrate that a bit more later, but basically it causes this little piston to run back about 6 millimeters, and that's enough to cycle the actions. That's about 1/4 inch. That pushes this pusher rod back, which directly impinges on the front of the bolt carrier. And again, that cycles the action. So I just had this out, just put 20 rounds through it for my Instagram IGTV vid and the YouTube vid that I did shooting this thing. So if you want to see this gun in action, see what it's kind of like to be behind a G36, go ahead and check that out. But otherwise we'll finish taking this apart here. So I'll pop this push pin. That's for the mag well. The pins can all be handily stored in the stock. There are 4 positions, even though there's only 3 push pins at most. And this, then you just kind of wiggle this out. The flapper lock release, mag release, just wiggle that out and that just detaches, and that's your mag well. And then lastly, the rear pin here pops out, and that's it for the pins. Pretty straightforward, pretty nice modular gun to work with. It's really cool too. You can swap this out for a Stanag lower, so then this is going to grab onto all of your Stanag AR-15 magazines. So it's cool, especially in Canada. Then you can run these 10-round pistol mags legally, whereas the factory G36 mags are limited to 5, unfortunately, with this pin right here. So I guess real quick too, this gun in this configuration is non-restricted due to the fact that it has a long enough barrel. It's over 18.5 inches. The shorter versions would be restricted, just again due to the fact that the barrels. So anyways, this is all removed here, so we can just pop our lower out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All the trigger mechanism, everything is mostly plastic components with a few springs. I think because it's YouTube, I don't think I can talk about that too much. So I'll leave that there. The stock folds, and I have the roll pin removed because I was doing some videos with swapping different stocks on it. Again, you can check those videos out as well. And this is a real pain to get that big long roll pin out. So I just pulled it out once, threw a little pin there that kind of loosely fits, and that's what the tape is here, just to hold it in so it doesn't fall to the bottom. But that's the whole reason for that. I will be sticking with this setup now that I've played around with the IDZ stock and the other stocks, but this is the way the German army uses it, and I kind of like it. It's the most classic way to see the gun, even with this the original dual optic from Hensoldt here. So cool stuff. I talk about that more in the other videos. I'll try and stick with the operating system in this one. So at this point, you can just, there's a little tab right here. Again, the stock folding just holds it all in place. So just pull down and pull out, and that is your captive op rod, recoil spring and recoil spring guide rod, I suppose. There's a little buffer back there as well. And that's that, guys. Then simply grab your charging handle and slide your bolt carrier out the back. So this is very much like an AR-18 modified system, which again, like the G43 used this type of system, the SVT-40 used this type of system, but essentially they're all modifications of the AR-18. Actually, I suppose the SVT-40 would have come first. So maybe the AR-18 is based on the SVT-40, but this is the system. It's pretty simple. It's a very AR-15-like looking bolt. It is different from an SL8, I believe. At least the early pattern SL8s that were made during the ban era in the States, as I think they had one less lug because they fed from a single round magazine. But very similar. Again, it's a piston gun, so you don't have gas rings on the bolt. But you've got your firing pin, retaining pin, you've got your cam pin. Honestly, everything is really similar. So we'll pop this out with the tip of a bullet. This is a 223, by the way, which is what the gun is chambered in. 223, 5.56. What's going on here? There we go. Just a little bit of pressure needed. It does have a little gasket on there, keeping it in place. So with that guy popped out, we can then pop out our firing pin. No spring. And then our cam pin will fall out. See, there's the hole for the firing pin. It's all a nice, clever, self-retaining system. And then the bolt. So again, very, very similar to an AR-15 bolt. And there's your carrier. So the carrier, again, as I've mentioned before with ergonomics, you can tilt the charging handle back and push it in. That creates a forward assist, and that can be done on either side of the gun, so it is ambidextrous. And then that's it. You've got your receiver here, which is pretty much just all plastic, except you do have a molded trunnion that's literally formed inside this this polymer housing. So when you go to do the barrels and stuff, when you turn the barrels out, you want to be careful, because if you turn it and wreck those little polymer teeth that retain this, well, you basically just destroyed your G36 receiver. So you definitely want to be careful and use the proper tools when taking these things apart. There is a proper wrench to use with these. Anyways, the gas system, okay, you can see here where this right here, this pusher rod or this extension, that's where this pushes. And that's where it directly impinges on the carrier. You see a little divot there where it's impinged. And this gun is very new. There's only barely over 100 rounds in this gun. But again, the dirt and grime is confined largely to this piston area up here, and that's why it'll get kind of gross like that. But just carbon, it all comes off. And again, that's your pusher rod assembly there. So if you didn't see, you push it down a bit and then rotate it off to the side, and that way it clears the piston, then you can pull it out. So this is inside the gas block right there, and that's where the gas bleeds up. Once it pushes this thing far enough back, 6 millimeters or so, then the port is able to clear, and it actually vents excess gas right out the front. If you look at slow motion or high speed video of these guns firing, and if you look right up in this area, you can actually see puffs of gas coming out. It's kind of neat. The bipod is mounted directly to the handguard, and there's a little quick release lever in here that actuate that, and you pull this pin out, and then this comes right apart. So I'm not going to bother doing that today, but it's pretty simple. So that's it for the full disassembly. I'm not going to bother taking the optic off. I did that in another video. And again, the stock is just a big roll pin, and you want to be careful when you're punching that out, because again, this is polymer. And again, I didn't want to do that over and over and over again, so I replaced it with a little pin temporarily. So I will probably leave this right here. I'm going to clean this a little bit, and then I'll throw it all back together while I have it apart here. So I don't think I need to show you how to put it back together. Everything just goes in the exact opposite direction, and I'm ready at over 9 minutes for this video. So we're gonna wrap it up and leave it there. Thanks a lot, guys. Catch you next time.